unlocking our true potential. Something magical happens when we step back and just understand where is our ambition coming from. The ego is a formula which contains a certain drive, but the drive is ultimately leading us into a direction which is going to separate our sense of purpose from a sense of ambition, which is designed to manipulate us into experiencing a life, but may not lead us to a sense of purpose and satisfaction. We must question truthfully, where is our thoughts coming from? Is it coming from the ego, the mind? Are we craving comfort, craving a sense of achievement? Or are we coming back and trying to align back into the true purpose of our nature, trying to come back and questioning the true origin of our existence? And ultimately, why are we doing what we're doing? Within this lifetime, we will have the choice of questioning, where are we living our lives from? Are we living our lives from the mind, the ego, status, fame, greed, comfort, even creatures of comfort, creatures of safety, not doing something which will not doing something that is necessarily true for ourselves, because it is the unknown, it's the uncertainty, it's the risk. And that itself is the formalization of restriction. Because when we start to live our lives from this perspective of doing something which is not necessarily true for ourselves, but it's the most certain path of existence. It's the existence which will bring us comfort, bring us a sense of potentially achievement. It will bring us the path which will create the least judgment to our lives. It will create the path of comfort. That's in general, it's comfort. It's doing things that are more certain for ourselves, more comfortable for ourselves. But we know as individuals, we know within this now moment that path may bring us comfort, may bring us success, of which we believe, but the truth being is that how will this path affect our own true potential? And that's the truth, is that these paths don't necessarily bring us and evolve our own true potential. And once we see that, when we lever off of this predictable programming of comfort, success, we start to awaken a sense of unknown, and within that unknown, we gain insight and wisdom of our own true potential. And we do this because there's nothing else to believe in. There's nothing else to acknowledge. All we have is a flow state of awareness which leads us to discovering and evolving our own true potential. And this is unique for every single one of us, because when we come into this frequency, we come into this awareness, we are a collective consciousness experiencing this life from different angles, and how we engage in this life is going to be unique and different for every single one of us. However, we are sharing the same frequency of forever. We're sharing that same infinite possibility, and that itself is the true potential, because true potential is just infinite possibility. And what's taking us away from accessing that true potential is just programming, a pre-programmed destiny, a pre-programmed life experience, which is trying to drive us into its formula. It's trying to drive us within its systematic existence, and trying to draw our infinite potential, our infinite awareness into its pre-programmed life journey. And that's the power of being able to see that life is a pre-programmed journey. Life is a destiny awaiting to manifest. It's up to us to take control of that and to start to involve our own infinite potential, evolve our own infinite potentiality which will take control and lead a life of true potential. It's not about true potential, it's about truth in general, because true potential is only the experience of which we feel is true in the moment. And that is ultimately the great choice which we have as individuals, is to understand what is our true potential and where is it coming from? Why are we living this life? That itself is true potential, is seeing where is this life experience being led from? Is it being led from our minds? Is it being led from choices which we're making from comfort? Or is it being led from the unknown, the risk, the activation of something that we don't know why we're doing it? It just feels right. It feels like it's true. It feels like it's meant to be. And they're the questions we need to ask. Are we doing something because we feel it's meant to be? Or are we doing something because our minds are leading us into a direction and we're listening to our minds, we're living our lives via our minds because we're afraid of questioning the unknown? And when we start to question the truth and we start to create changes and reactions based on feeling rather than thinking, we will see our lives transform. We will see our lives change. We will see things coming into our lives which are bringing us what we need in the moment to continue to evolve and continue to work with this change of this shift of experience. We're going from living a life of programming to living a life of freedom. And that's the power, is when we have that freedom within our hearts, we have that knowledge of infinite possibility, we start to transform out of the programmed self into this space of infinite possibility. And that is where the magic happens. That is where we truly align with the truth of our nature, our existence, that everything is possible. And it's only our minds which are trying to design and formulate a life experience to keep us enslaved within its frequency of potential.